this session. We'll use this time to settle down and allow everyone to join the session. All right, but we'll definitely use this time to our benefit. Uh, we'll use this time to network with other wonderful business owners who are also joining today's session. So we'll use this time to network amongst ourselves. I can see a number of members have already joined in. Good evening and a warm welcome to all the participants. Now, because I'm recommending that you should all network with each other, that's where let me take the initiative and let me share my details. So here you can see in the chat that I've added my details, and in the similar fashion, you can also add your own details. And God knows, you may be able to find a buyer or supplier in today's session. And this isn't something which hasn't actually happened. In one of our previous session, they were even able to get into a business deal during the session itself, right? So it's a great opportunity to connect with other buyers and suppliers who are part of this session. All right, so you can add your details in the chat. Now we'll try to keep this as a very interactive session. So this is where in today's session, I'm going to share with you very important information, because you have put in a lot of effort to create an online store because you wanted to showcase your products or services on Indian Business Portal, right? It hasn't happened, and why it hasn't happened, what could have been the cause, how you can solve for it, all that I'm going to explain in today's session. So it is going to be a very informative session, and you'll definitely benefit out of it. So that's where I would recommend everyone should stay till the end of the session, because there are a number of reasons that may be affecting your products or services visibility on Indian Business Portal. So it is important that you stay back till the end, and we'll try to keep it as interactive as possible, right? So I'll keep asking you questions, and I request everyone to participate, because that's where, if you're just looking at the screen and hearing what I'm saying it to you, it is a one-way information, and very soon, within few minutes, you'll become bored, and you'll not be able to benefit the most out of this session. So that's where we'll try to keep it interactive. I'll keep asking questions. I'll keep seeking your inputs as well, and we'll both learn this together. All right. I can see one of the members have raised your hand. So, sir, this is a webinar format, so I'll not be able to unmute you. But what we'll do is we'll have a question answer round. So towards the end of the session, we'll dedicate about 15 minutes to question answer round. And that's where you can ask your question. How can you ask your question? So there is a Q&A button somewhere here. You can see there's a Q&A button. So you can add your question. Now, raise your hands. How many of you are joining through mobile devices, through your smartphones? How many of you are joining through your smartphones? Right. Now, how are you holding your smartphone? Are you holding it like this, or you're holding it like this? Now, why am I asking you this question? Because I'll be doing a screen share. So I request all of you, especially the ones who are joining through smartphones, please hold it like this. So in a landscape mode. And another thing that I want you to do is, in the Zoom application, there is an option for you to go full screen. So if you have already enabled, by default, it will go full screen. If it has not been enabled, then please do that. Otherwise, please at least hold it like this. Otherwise, you'll see it very minuscule. You'll not be able to see anything or make sense of anything. All right. So this is something that you should keep in mind. Now, before starting to share my screen, let me give a quick introduction about myself. But before I do that, because I conduct so many training sessions, webinars, workshops, etc., so many of you may have already interacted with me. So how many of you have attended any of my previous session, and or you know me? So many of the members actually know me. So you can also raise your hand, and so I can see one of the member, Mr. Rohan, he has attended one of my previous webinar. I can see a number of members have raise their hand. So wonderful. Nice to connect with you once again. And for the members who have not attended any of my webinar or don't know me personally, so my name is Adnan. I'm Director SME e-commerce growth at GlobalLinker. And my functional focus areas are the website builder platform, Linker.store, and other digital commerce related initiatives globally. In addition to that, I work a lot on SME education or empowering or guiding business owners in growing their business digitally. And that's where I conduct a lot of training sessions, webinar. In fact, one session every day I conduct so that we can guide businesses, because we understand that for a MSME, it is a difficult journey that they have to undertake when they're digitizing their business. Difficult not in the sense that it takes a lot of effort, because that is entirely new for them. They haven't done anything like that ever in their life, and that's where it becomes slightly overwhelming for them. So how can we make it as simple as possible? Technically, we have done that. Education is where I conduct these sessions to help them out. And today's session is also a part of it, because I've seen there are like hundreds of sellers, business owners like you, who have actually put in an effort. They have created their websites, their online store, whatever term you would want to call it. But unfortunately, their efforts haven't given them the results they deserve, because they have done small mistakes, which is stopping them or stopping their business, their products and services from being showcased on Indian business portal, right? So what are those mistakes and how can you solve them? That's what I'm going to share with you in today's session. All right, so let's quickly get started. I'll start sharing my screen, and then we'll get started. And it's going to be an interactive session. So I'll keep asking a question, and you can keep sharing your responses in the chat. I'll have the chat only open alongside. All right, so I will start sharing my screen now. Just give me a few seconds to do that. Let me this as well. Yep. All right, so let's begin with today's discussion. This is where we are going to explain to you, if your business is not featured on Indian business portal, then what may be stopping you, what mistakes you may have accidentally conducted, you have made, which is stopping you. All right, so let's move on without spending any more time. The first mistake, which is sort of a very common mistake, and it is a very easy to fix mistake, is that you have kept your online store, your website in a unpublished mode. So this is the website. It is unpublished. Now, if we wanted to review the products or services that you have added, your beautiful products or services that are added on your website, we can't do that. Our operations team can't review it. Or tomorrow, if a international buyer visits your website, this is what they'll see. Now, will it get any business or will it get any results? No, nothing. So that's where it is important that your website should be published. So this is where I'll switch my screen. Now I'm going to take you to the browser where I'm going to log into a seller panel and show you how you can fix this mistake. And it is a simple mistake. It will hardly take you a few seconds to fix it. So let me switch the browser. And this is where I'm logged into a demonstration account, and this is the seller panel. How do you open the seller panel? Many of you already know, but for everyone's reference, I'm going to do that once again. So here you can see there is this option, online store. So you have to click on that, which will open another tab, and then you can access the seller panel. Now, there can be a scenario that pop-up might be blocked on your browser. So in that case, once you click on online store, it may not open the seller panel in another tab. So in that case, just allow the pop-ups on FIEO GlobalLinker website, and then the seller panel will open up. Now, when seller panel opens up, this is where you'll see this option, unpublished. It is currently unpublished. So you can tick it and your website gets published like this. The website is published. Now let's see how it is appearing. So I'll just open one more window. I haven't clicked on that would open the admin preview of the website. This is the website. Now it is published, it is accessible, right? Let me just show the difference to you, right? So this is where it is published. We have done that. We have published the website. Let's unpublish it for a moment. Let's go back, refresh. This is how it is appearing. It is unpublished, so we cannot access it. International buyer cannot see it. Importers can't see it. So it is not serving anyone's purpose. So just go and check if your website is unpublished. Please publish it back. So when you publish it, by clicking on that green button, that big button, it becomes published, it becomes accessible. So now anyone who's visiting your website, they can know about your business, they can see your products and services, they can connect with you. Our operations team will also be able to review your website and then link your products or services with Indian Business Portal. All right. So that was the first mistake which prevents businesses from being showcased on Indian Business Portal. All right, let's move on to the next one. Online store name should be the same as the business name. Let me show an example to you. Now, this is the screen which is open in front of you. Now, I'm not sure how many of you can see the text very clearly, but what are your guesses? What is this? What is wrong here? On the screen, have a look at the screen. You have the entire screen open in front of you. Any guesses? You can add that in the chat. What is wrong here? Right? And let me open the chat as well. Give me a second. Okay, I accidentally closed the screen share. Not a problem. Yeah. So any guess? Yes. So Shubhamji, correct answer. You have got it right. And for others, I'll just show you what is wrong. So here you can see the business name is Star Exports, but the store URL is Star Impex. That is the mistake. That is what is wrong. So this is something that you have to fix. How can you fix this? Let's go back to the seller panel. So you have understood what is the mistake. The store URL, this link which is there to access the website. Now it can be linker.store or .co.in, whatever it is. It should be the same, or if it is a brand name, then it should be the brand name, right? So let's go back to the seller panel and let's see, or let's understand how you can fix this issue. So for that, in the left navigation, we have to click on store settings. This is where you have store settings, and then you have to click on store details. And this is from where you can fix the URL. Now, there can be a scenario that it is an inverse situation, that your URL is correct, but you have added a wrong business name by mistake. So if you have added a wrong business name by mistake, then you can fix it from here. Enter store name. This is the field where you have to fix. Now, if you have to fix the store URL, you can fix it from here, right? So I'll not do that for the benefit of time, but you have to just make the changes here and then click on save, and the issue is fixed, right? So that's how it has to be done. Going back to the presentation, so far we have understood two mistakes which may be preventing you or your products or services from being showcased on Indian Business Portal. Let's move on to the third one. Provide correct business address, contact number, and email, right? Let's look at this screen and let's try to understand what is the issue. Now here, you can see the contact. Now, let me just show a zoomed in view. So this is the contact address. This is where you have the contact number, and then you have the email ID. Now, these should be your actual address, actual contact number, and actual email ID. The reason is not only from the authenticity perspective, but tomorrow, if there's a international buyer, a importer who's coming to your website and reviewing your detail, and they are interested to connect with you, if your details are, your credentials are incorrect, they may not be able to connect with you, right? So that's where it is important that your information that you're adding should be exact and correct. All right. How can you resolve this issue? How can you fix this issue in case you have accidentally added a wrong address, or while you were creating the store, you had not thought of updating the address, you had added something and then you forgot to update that. How can you fix this? So again, going back to the seller panel, again, we have to access through store settings, store details. And this time we have to go to the address tab. So here you have address tab, and this is where you have to type the address. So for example, like this, and type your address. You can also update the Google location. Once you are done, click on save, and the address get updated. That's how you have to do it. Very simple and easy. Now, this was about the address. There were three components, right? There were three components. So address was one. The next one is your email ID. For that, we have to use the store details tab. So I'll repeat this process for everyone's reference so that you know where you have to go. So in the left navigation, so left navigation is this thing on the left side of the screen. So on the left navigation, you have to firstly click on store settings, which is here. And once you click on it, you'll see that it expands. And then you have to click on store details, which is here, right? Once you have clicked on it, then you'll see there are different tabs here in this horizontal navigation. So here, firstly, you have to go to address. In case you have to change the address, then you have to go to address. That's where you update the address, update the Google location, and then click on save. That is about updating the address. Now, to update email ID and contact number, you have to click here, which is store details. And here you have the store phone number section. This is from where your store phone number is displayed, and this is where from where your email ID is displayed. Now, there can be a scenario that you are not comfortable sharing your contact number on your website, right? In that case, we have an option here, show mobile number. So if it is on, then the number is displayed. If it is off, then the number is not displayed, right? But very simple, easy. Come here, add your email ID, update the contact number, and once you are done, click on save, and your email ID and contact number gets updated. Now, this is for your future reference also. Tomorrow, you may change your contact number, or you may change, or you may want to add a different email ID. So that is the place where you have to come to update that information. All right. So this is again a very simple fix. Will hardly take you 2 minutes to fix this. And let's move on to the next point. And this is categorize your product or services correctly. Let's understand this with an example. Now here, you can see the category is fashion apparels and fabric, and the subcategory is dresses. And what do we have there? We have a dress and a shoe. So it is a wrong categorization. Shoes should go to footwear, and this is the dresses category. So this is a case of wrong categorization. You have categorized the products wrongly, and this can also prevent your products or services to be listed on Indian Business Portal. Because if you have visited Indian Business Portal, you may have seen that there is a navigation. If you click on it, you can see which all products are there in that category. So for example, if you go to agri product category, and that's where you click on rice. Now, you can see all the rice. Now, as an international buyer, if I'm visiting Indian Business Portal, what is my expectation? That I'm wanting to buy rice. So I click on agri products, I clicked on rice, and that's where if I'm seeing, let's say, corn there, or if I'm seeing ladyfinger there, obviously I'll have a very poor impression about Indian Business Portal and the exporters as well, right? So that's where it is important that whenever we are categorizing our products, we should categorize it properly. In case you are finding it difficult to understand which categories you should select, then you add your own category. There's an option that you select your own category, you add that. In that case, our team will understand what the product is, and then they will map it correctly. But don't do this kind of a mix that products from different categories are mixed together. That will what it will lead to is that if somehow ops team misses to locate your product, that you have added a wrong product into a wrong category, so in that case it will start appearing on Indian Business Portal, and that will be a bad impression for all of us. So we should try not to do that. And if operations team catches it, then obviously your products or services will not be there on Indian Business Portal. So how do you fix this issue? Let's go back to the seller panel. So again, we'll go back to the seller panel, and this time we have to go to the catalog and product section. So in the left navigation, you'll see catalog, and then you'll see products. So once you click on catalog, it will expand, and then you'll be able to see products. You have to click on products. We are on the product screen. Now here, we have, let me just look at the men's black running shoes. So we have this shoe, which is in the wrong category. To change the category, we have to click on this option, edit, and the product edit interface opens up. Now here, you'll have to slightly scroll down, and that's where you'll see enter category and subcategory. Here you can see we have selected fashion, apparels, and fabric and dresses, and that's is where the product is appearing. Now we have to change it. We have to ensure that it is getting listed in the correct category. So you can click on, firstly, you have to select the correct parent category. So the correct parent category is fashion, accessories, and footwear, because it is a shoe. So fashion, accessories, and footwear, and the correct subcategory will be sports shoes. So it is not necessary that you have to scroll down. You can also type. So it is a sport shoes. So we have selected that. Now all we have to do is to click on save, and the category gets updated. All right. So this is how you'll be able to rectify any issue if there is with the category. So you can just review what all products that you have listed on your website, and then you can update the category, right? Now, the second scenario, which I was explaining to you, that for some reason you are not able to find the suitable category and subcategory here. In that case, use this option. So don't add products to the wrong category. That's what I'm emphasizing on. And I hope everyone understands that please don't add products to the wrong category. If you can't find the category, use this option, which is can't find my category, and then you can add your own category. And that's where it is absolutely accepted. Ops team will review your products and they'll map it themselves. But don't do that mistake of mapping your products to a wrong category. Please don't do that. All right. So let's go back to the presentation, and let's understand another issue. Don't list prohibited or restricted products or services. I don't think it needs elaboration. So there are products, restricted or prohibited products, which you should not list. Now, in one of my previous session, a member had asked that how do we know which are the prohibited or restricted products? So DGFT, Directorate General Foreign Trade, maintains a list of prohibited products or services. It is available on their website, and I'll share the link with everyone where you can go and you can see that list. All right, so let's move on to the next point. All products or services should have at least one image. Now here, what do you think, what is wrong? Right, and let's try to get the audience, get the answer from the audience. So from the audience, what do you think? What is wrong here? You are seeing an image on your screen. What do you think? What is wrong? We just So I'm waiting for your, yeah, there is no response. Thank you, Rachna ji. That's a correct answer. There is no image which is there for this product, and that is what we have to fix. So that's the issue here, that there is no image. So if there is no product image, in that case, the product or service will not be showcased on your website, right? Now, there is a different angle also to this, right? Because if you are a product manufacturer, in that case, obviously, you should add images to the products that you are manufacturing. Now, you may be a merchant who is trading, and that's where you may be trading in generic items. So in that case, you can get those images. How can you get those images? That is something that I'll try to explain. The third one is service provider. Now, if you're a service provider, obviously you don't have images, but in that case, what you have to use is representative images which are there. So it cannot be like blank like this. There should be something. You can use a representative image as well, from where you can get those representative images. I'll also try to explain that. But firstly, let's try to understand how to fix this issue, that is images are missing, right? So for that, we'll go back to the seller panel, and sorry, I forgot which product it is. Again, men's black running shoes. All right, so let's go back to the product section. I hope everyone remembers how do we access the product section. Click on catalog and click on products, and that's how you are able to access the product section. I think this is the product where we have to make this change. So we'll click on edit, and we have the image section here, right? If you want, you can go and you can update in each of the variant, but I'll not recommend, because that's where the if you have like 5-10 variants, you'll have to do the same activity 10 times. That is a unnecessary waste of time. So you can just come here and you can add the images, right? Now, let me do this very quickly. So to add the image, you have to click on this image placeholder, which you can see here. You have to click on it, and then you'll see this pencil shaped icons. You have to click on that, which will open the image manager. Now, I already have the images uploaded, so that's where I'll not redo that activity. But in your case, when you have to upload the images, you have to just click on the upload button. So let me just start selecting the image. I think this can be the first image. So we have selected the first image. Let's add another one. So you have to click on this plus icon, which you can see here. So let's add the second one. So this can be the second one. Let's select the third one. And the last one will be a slightly zoomed in image, right? So all 4 images are added. Now, lastly, we have to click on save, and the images are uploaded. Yeah. Let's go to the shoes category and let's see. So now you can see all the products have images, right? So that is how you can fix this issue. Now, I did mention to you that there can be a scenario wherein you have to use generic images or representative images. So there are many platforms which are available from where you can go and you can get these images. So let me just share with you. So Pexels is one platform which I very frequently recommend. So this platform is not just for images. You can also get videos, leaderboards. There's a lot of things that you can get from here. So this is from where you can get beautiful images. Then you have Pixabay. Sorry, my laptop appears to be a little slow. Yeah, Pixabay is this website. So this is another website where you get stock images. Then you have Unsplash. That's the third platform. Now, you may not get a lot of product images, but person images or mood shot or for service industry, if you need images, this is a platform. Now, all these platforms provide loyalty-free images. Now, why I very frequently recommend Pexels, because as per their license policy, and that it is clearly mentioned here, no attribution or nothing is required, right? So you can use that images. But many times when you're using these free images, there is a attribution required, right? So you would not want to get into a scenario that you have used a particular image and tomorrow you get a notice for a illegal notice from someone that, hey, you are using our image and you haven't attributed, right? So whenever you are using a image, even if it is a stock image, if it is a free image, please ensure or please look at the license or attribution requirements. So a lot of times, even if you're using something for free, they require that you should attribute it to that we have taken it from them, right? You should give the credit to them, right? So please read that. I would not want you to get into trouble tomorrow, right? So there are three different platforms whenever we are looking at an image. Understand what are the attribution requirement, right? So here we have info where you can, sorry, I think they have, okay, it is from MailChimp. That was an ad. Sorry. So there are different images of which are available, which you can use. Now there's one more platform which has come up, and it is basically an AI tool, which is designer.microsoft. Now, this is where if you have to create something, you can also get it created here. So you have to just specify your requirement engine. It will get created. It will make it for you, right? So that is another platform which you can use. Let's go back to the presentation. So those were the three platforms. So where you can go and you can get stock images in case you have a requirement. And those are, but just be a little cautious of the licensing requirement. Yeah, sorry, I think I clicked twice. The next problem which may prevent your products or services to be listed on Indian Business Portal is watermark, stock, or prohibited images should not be used. Now, prohibited images is something that we all understand. Watermark and stock. So here on your screen, you're seeing an example that there is this product image, but it is watermarked image, and there is a license code which is also mentioned there. Now, this kind of images, definitely this is not an actual image, and the store or the business which is using this image, they are not the actual owners of this image. Now, obviously, we would not want to showcase a product with a watermarked image, right, or a stock image. So that is why. Now, stock image, don't get confused with the free stock images that I showed to you. Those are these type of watermarked image. So they have taken it from some website, and then that's where it has the watermark on it, right? So you go to Shutterstock, you can try it even now. So you can go to Shutterstock and try to get any image. You'll see it has a watermarks, right? So those kind of images should not be used, right? Now, many people have asked me this question that there are so many tools available these days which you can use to actually remove the watermark, and then you can use the image. Yes, you can do that, but tomorrow if you get caught that tomorrow you used one of Shutterstock's image, that you remove the watermark and you start using it. Now tomorrow, for some reason, Shutterstock is able to catch you that you're using their image without buying it from them. That will amount to stealing, and that can get you into a lot of legal trouble. So it is better, so either use those free stock images which does not have any licensing requirement, or buy it if you have to use a paid image then, right? So how do you change this image is something that I've already explained to you, but just be little cautious if you're using stock images over this issue. Add realistic pricing on all except order products. Now, for inquiry products, you don't have to show the price. You have an option to just send inquiry and price on request. But for accept order, where you're wanting to receive order from the international buyers, that's where you have to show the price. Now, how do you? That's where you have to add a realistic price. Now, let's try to understand here. So here we have a beautiful kurta, And you can see the price is added as 1 rupee now. Now, it is impossible that this beautiful kurta can be sold for 1 rupee, right? It's an unrealistic price. And that's where we assume that you have accidentally added this price and you haven't updated it or you forgot to update it. Now, we cannot show product with an inaccurate price. We don't know what is the actual price, but it is definitely not 1 rupee, right? How do you update the price? Let's understand. So if you have accidentally missed or added a wrong price, then how do you update it? Let's go back to the seller panel once again. Sorry, wrong screen. This is where we have the seller panel. Now, again, we have to go to the product section. For that, we have to click on catalog. And after that, we have to click on products, which will open the products section. My laptop seems to be acting a little slow today, right? So we have the products open. This is the product where the wrong price is added. Now, how do you update the price? So you can click on the product title here, and it will show you this edit button. Now it depends. This product has 3 variants, so that's why we have to update the price in all the variants. If your product does not have multiple variants, then you'll have to do it once. So how do we update the price? We have to click on this option, edit, which will open this pop-up or overlay. And here you can see the price, right? Let's update it to a realistic one. We'll add 1,000. We have to scroll down, click on save. It will take a few seconds for the overlay to close. And here you can see the price is updated. Let's quickly do that for other variants as well. So again, the same practice we'll do. We'll come here and we have the selling price. Let's change that to 1,000 and we'll click on save. It will take a few seconds for the overlay to close. Let's do that to the other one. We just have one more variant. Now, you might be wondering, why do I have to do this thrice? Because there are 3 variants. If you saw that product, so small, medium, large, there were 3 sizes which are available. Now, for each size, we have to update the price. That's why we are doing that. Now, in case your product does not have multiple sizes, then you will not have this problem. All right, so we have updated the price. Let's go on the front end and let's see, where do we have the front end open? Here we have. So it is a dress. So let's go to the dress category and let's see. So the price of the product is 1,000. Let's open the product detail page and let's see how it is appearing for each of the variant. So we have small 1,000, medium 1,000, large 1,000, like this. Right. So this is how you will be able to update the price. Now, if you have many products, in that case, doing like this will be very time consuming. How you can do it quicker. So in that case, we have a bulk option also available here. This is from where you'll be able to download an Excel file, download that file, and there's a selling price column. Just update it, upload it back from here. This is where you have to upload the file back again. So you have to click on bulk edit CSV, upload the file back again, prices will get updated. All right. So that is how you will be able to update the price in case you have accidentally added the wrong price. All right. So let's move ahead. Avoid identical pricing of the product, right? This is related to the point that we have just discussed, where you had mistakenly added a wrong price or you added a dummy price while you were uploading the product and then you forgot to update it, right? So that was that scenario. This is related to that. And this is where you can see the price of these products. So here we have 10, 10, 10. First of all, it does not look like these. It is a actual price. It looks like an unrealistic price, similar to the older point that I was showing. Now, it is very unusual that many products have the same price, right? So everything on your online store, on your website, $1, right? Try to have differentiation so that it looks realistic. Otherwise, for our operations team and even to the international buyer, it will look very unusual that everything is for $1 or everything is for the same price, right? So try to have that variation, or even if it is for few paisas or few cents if you have in USD. So even if it is for few cents or few paisas, have that differentiation. So it can be 10 rupees 50 paisa, and some thing else can be 10 rupees 30 paisa. So you can even have that kind of differentiation if you have everything at the same price. But try to have some sort of differentiation so that it does not look like everything is on the same price. It is very unusual, and it will raise a red flag with the ops team. They'll hold your products and services for additional review, and that's where it may get stuck, right? So please avoid doing that. The process to update the price is the same, right? What I've just shown to you, go to the seller panel. If you have few products, you can update it manually. Otherwise, you use the Excel file-based method. All right, so let's move on to the next point. Add description to products or services. And let's understand this with an example. Now here, this is a screenshot of the product. I'll show you the actual product as well. Now, what do you think? What is wrong here? Again, uh, asking yeah, participants and audience to share your opinion. What do you think? What is wrong here? The mistake is there on the screen, right? But what are your guesses? What do you think is causing this issue? Any guesses? I can't see any response in the chat, right? What do you think? What is wrong with this product? So don't worry, I'll clarify what is wrong with this product. The product description, just look at it. Stylish denim trousers, right? You should add description to the product. This is where you don't have to like just add few words. It will not suffice. It will have many negative impacts. The first affected area will be your search engine optimization, because that's where you have very little content available for the search platform to index, and that's where the information will not suffice. So you'll not have enough information available for the search engine to basically start showing your pages depending on different search terms which are coming, right? So this is the first affected area. The second affected area is when someone is coming to your website. Obviously, they'll not have a very nice impression of you, because that's where you haven't explained about the product. Understand, when you're in an exhibition, and that's where a international buyer comes, so you're able to explain the product to them, right? So you can hand over the product, they can feel the fabric, and then you can have a conversation with them, and that's where it is a different story. Here the product is doing all that for itself, right? So you have to provide as much information as possible for the product, right? So, and sorry, and many times while I was interacting with exporters like you, and the impression that I got, that they believe that the other person who is going to be looking at our product is from the industry, and they'll be having reasonable level of understanding. That is true. But when you are a seller, it is your duty to present your product nicely, explain it properly, so that any person who is coming to your website, they can review and understand the product, and they can connect with you, right? So they can get into that situation, or that thought process, that they feel that this is the product that I should buy or import from India, from this exporter, right? So that is where it is extremely important that you write the description. Now, many people say that we are not professional content writers, we are not e-commerce experts like you, so we cannot write product description. We understand our product, but writing a product description becomes a huge challenge for us. That is where that was actually an excuse for some time ago, but now you have AI tools which can help you, right? So whatever information you have about the product, what the product is, what are the features, few USPs, just give that to an AI tool and it will be able to create a product description for you. Now, in case you're wondering how it is done, so there's a webinar that I did few days back wherein I explained, I actually demonstrated how you can use AI tools to create product title, description, search engine related, meta title, keyword, and many things else. So you can review the recording. I'll share the recording of that webinar so that you can review and you can understand the process. All right. So that is very important. Now, this is where I think we have reached towards the end of our presentation. So this is where I'll turn off the screen share and we'll break into the question answer round. So let me just turn off the screen share. Yeah, I cannot see any questions in the Q&A. So if you have any question, please do add your questions in the Q&A section. And let me also have a look at the chat. So, Mr. Mahesh, I've noted down your details. You can, I'll get you connected with one of my colleagues who will guide you with the store creation process. I am also going to share my contact details. And for the reference of other audience members, what is this I'm talking about? So one of our participants, Mr. Mahesh, he has asked me a question that I want to avail your services to get the e-commerce website built for me. What is this services? So understand FIEO GlobalLinker, this website that I showed to you, it is entirely free. Of course, you can create it on your own. But many business owners, they feel that they don't have time, they don't have expertise, and that's where they need or they want to have a professionally made website for their business, right? So that's where they want to seek help from an agency, and we provide that service at a nominal cost. So if any one of you is interested to avail that service, I've added my contact details in the chat. So you can drop me a message. You can either send me an email or you can send me a message on WhatsApp, and I'll get you connected with one of my colleagues who can help you with the onboarding process. All right. So that was a response to Mr. Mahesh's question. I can see there's one more question in the chat, and I see there's a Q&A also which has come. So let me firstly answer the question which is there in the chat, and that is from Mr. Albert, and he is from choir industry, and that's where he is not able to find the category and subcategory. So, Mr. Albert, I'll request just drop me a message or email. I've shared my details in the chat. So just drop me a message or email and I'll respond to you with the correct categorization for your products. All right. Let's have a look at the question. Aditya, I can see there's a question from Aditya Jainji. He is requesting for the recording of the webinar, and this where I'll request or I'll share a response with everyone that you will all get an email with the recording of today's webinar. However, in case you feel that you haven't missed that email, where else can you go and get the recording? So you have to just go to YouTube and search for GlobalLinker, and that's where you'll find the recordings of all our webinars. And I remember I said that I'll be sharing the link to access the recording of the previous webinar where I've explained how you can use various AI tools for your many business related activities. So let me quickly take out that link and I'll just share with you. Give me a few seconds to do that. In the interim, if you have any question, if you have any query, please do add that to the Q&A or chat, whichever is convenient to you. So I've added a link of that webinar, that previous webinar where I have explained how you can use, or where I've demonstrated how you can use AI tools for business related activities, and especially e-commerce related activities. For example, you want to create product title. Now, a lot of people get stressed here because a product may have a different name in the physical world, but on the internet, how do you ensure that you are naming it properly? Use AI tool. You have to write a description. You are not sure. You don't have confidence on your writing skill. Use AI tool. You have to write SEO related meta title description. Use AI tool. You have to create banners for your website. Use AI tool. Right? You have to create a presentation. Use AI tool. So for all that, how you can use AI tools, that's where you'll just go to the recording of the webinar and you'll be able to find that. In the description of that recording of that webinar, you'll also find the presentation that I've used in the webinar, so that if you want to have the links, you can also download that presentation. Question from Rachana ji is the stores on GlobalLinker, they seem more for retail e-commerce when orders are received, and that's where Rachana ji, I'll encourage you, please visit Indian Business Portal, and that's where you'll find a very wide variety of stores, so ranging from your products which can be bought or sold online, to coals, minerals, steel, you name it, you'll find it there, right? So it is a platform which is there to help you grow your business digitally, right? So it is not like if you are someone who is dealing in a container load, you cannot use this infrastructure to grow your business or gain orders. You'll be able to do that, right? So irrespective of what volumes you operate, what type of products or industry you are in, the same solution is available for everyone. All right, so any other question? I cannot see any other question coming in. So this is where I think we should conclude today's session. All right, so any last minute question, if there is, please, you can ask your question. Otherwise, we'll conclude today's session. So I cannot see any other question coming in. You already have my contact details. So in case you need any help, you have any query, please do feel free to reach out to me. All right. So this is where we will conclude today's session. Thank you everyone for taking our time and participating in the session. I hope you found this session informative. Have a wonderful evening and bye-bye from